a world of iconic riffs, immortal solos, the highest notes, and the most guttural of growls, the debate of the greats has raged on for decades. And we settle them here. This is the Great Metal Standoff. Thanks very much, voiceover guy. Ladies and gentlemen of the rock and roll, punk, prog, hardcore, thrash, and heavy metal community, my name is Jason Evans, and this is the Great Metal Standoff, the podcast that pits music's greatest albums in track-by-track combat. Now, on this episode, the chosen battle was not made by me this time. Instead, it was selected by my special guests for today, a local pub band called Bastard North. And the battle that they have chosen is Motley Crue's most popular and commercially successful album, Dr. Feelgood, versus the iconic Guns N' Roses debut album, Appetite for Destruction. I guess you could say it is the dissection of the epitome of 80s hair metal here on the Great Metal Standoff. So with that being said, I'm not going to waste any of your time in meeting these passionate rockers, Bastard North, and hearing what they have to say about the grand glam bands. But first, the rules of the Great Metal Standoff. Number 1, every album battle will be contested in track-by-track format by our podcast panel. Each individual panelist will select a winner of each song pairing. The winning track receives a point to the individual's tally score. Tracks on albums that go uncontested can receive a tally point if a panelist awards it a gold star. Once the battle is over, the album with the highest tally score will receive 1 grand point for that album. If a panelist's tally score results in a draw, both albums will receive half a grand point each. The album with the most grand points at the end of all of this tallying will be declared the winner. Alright everyone, I hope you are all very excited about what is coming up. It is Motley Crue versus Guns N' Roses with our very special guest, Bastard North. Roll the audio. Okay, the current time is 8:05 p.m. on a Thursday night, and normally we'd be celebrating that Friday's around the corner with a wonderful night out, having a nice dinner at a bistro, a restaurant or pub or whatever. But instead, I'm joined by 2 members of a local pub band called Bastard North. Thank you very much for taking time out of your Thursday night to do this.
More than welcome.
No problem.
Okay, and just for the listeners, could you please introduce yourselves?
I'm John, or JR, or Horsey. I go by many a name. I'm the front man of Bastard North.
Mark, and I play the bass. I only have one name. That is Mark.
What's the long form you're going by now?
Lord of the Low End. Yes.
Lord of the Low End.
Mark or Lord of the Low End, I'll take either.
I thought it was longer than that.
No, that'll do.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That'll do.
Well, there you go. So, in the intro, I labelled you guys as a pub band. What do you guys identify yourselves as?
Oh, yeah. We play in pubs. I don't know. I guess we're a rock band.
Yeah, we've definitely morphed into a rock band with, as I was telling Jason a bit earlier, with a touch of country here and there.
Yeah, there's a couple of different themes, and we probably play in mainly places that are playing punk. So we rub shoulders with the punk guys, I guess. But as you can see, I can't grow a mohawk anymore. So, but look. There's lots of different influences that come into this band, but it boils down to rock, I guess.
All right, what kind of the influences are then in this world of rock?
Oh, well, Mark's probably the biggest Kiss fan.
I am.
Okay.
I am indeed. Yeah.
Maybe in the world. I think you've got a shrine, probably a whole room dedicated to memorabilia and things like that. And then the guitarist is, I think he dabbled in the world of goth there for a while, and he's probably got his roots set in, like that sort of 90s Faith No More grunge scene, but
he's also a big fan of what I would term sleaze rock. So your Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reactions for the old kids out there that remember that one. That was a great record.
Definitely. But he's into the Misfits and lots of different stuff. The same with the drummer really, but it's not uncommon to see him fronting around in a Metallica shirt. We all call him Lars behind his back. And I think
Does he play like Lars?
He's probably he's a bit more straight ahead than Lars, I think.
And he has a good snare sound.
But he's by far the most talented member in the band. You can probably do bossa novas and all sorts of things where we're just more kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of guys.
Right. Okay. And you yourself, John, what are you influenced by musically?
Oh, yeah, lots of different stuff. You know, I don't know. I probably mainly listen to talkback radio. I'm a bit of a cranky old man.
Radio
I'm a 774 man these days. Am I allowed to say 774?
I don't know. It's a podcast. It's out on the internet.
All right.
I'm not binded by any.
Yeah,
FM
look,
networks.
I'm certainly a Gunners fan. To stay on topic, you know, I probably spent a few years with Appetite for Destruction permanently stuck in my Hyundai Excels. It was probably a CD player, a Walkman attached to a cassette. You know, knowing my setup back in the day.
Fancy.
But yeah, that was definitely a huge influence. But you know, I sort of grew up listening to my old man's music, so it was Hendrix and Floyd and The Who and Beatles and stuff like that. And I really like Lou Reed. And probably the other really big influence on me is Nick Cave. So.
Nick Cave. Okay, sounds excellent.
I think we all marry up around Sabbath and Motorhead. I think everyone's a huge Motorhead
how do we
fan.
leave Motorhead out? I think that's one of the things. It's probably the biggest influence on the band is really
probably,
Motorhead. You know?
Walking down that Motorhead line.
Yeah.
Your Perps and the Zeppelins and that classic rock. But I think we all meet at Motorhead.
Right, okay. So when did you guys get together then? How did this all come about, Bastard North?
We must be coming up to 3 years now.
2, just gone clicked over 2?
Just
coming
clicked
up on
over
2?
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, the first gig I missed because my wife was giving birth a month early. So, yeah, that's a good marker. So, yeah,
we
2
nearly
years,
went as a 3-piece.
2 years in September. We've been gigging and we probably had 6 months run up to that.
Yep.
It all started with I answered a ad on Facebook.
Wow.
Thinking that it was a bass playing role in a band. And it turned out it was lead singer. I didn't know that until I got to the first meeting with the guys in the guitarist shed. And I've been singing the band ever since. So
True that.
What do you think of him as a singer?
He's really good. Look, there's no... I got no problems saying that. He's a fantastic singer, a fantastic front man. You know, he really is the focal point of the band when we're playing, and yeah, I enjoy watching him as a member of the band.
Yeah, unless I kick out his gear.
He does have a tendency to knock out my pedals, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've put a foot through the kick skin, the branded kick skin, which
he's
cost
knocked
me a
out
slab.
mixed pedals. He's knocked out my pedals twice, but that's okay. People in the crowd just came and plugged it back in for me, and it was all good.
We're getting better at it though.
Yeah.
Okay, so just going on the lead singer thing, are there any singers you inspire by or take a lot of inspiration, like working out their styles of singing and implementing it to yourself, or do you just come at it from complete scratch?
Yeah, I know that I'm doing it wrong. Like if you read forums and stuff, and everyone says, "Oh, if it hurts and things like that, you're doing it wrong." So I'm doing it completely wrong. So yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy singing in this band. I don't feel like I've got to put on anything. You know, I've been in other bands where it's like, okay, we're going to all sing like Frank Zappa for whatever reason. You know, in this band, it's just, you know, you have a couple of beers and get up on stage and rock out.
Do you ever see yourself, Mark, doing backing vocals to help support him?
Oh, he does.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah, we all do. The drummer is an amazing singer. He's probably does a lot more backing than I do.
He's probably the best singer in the band, really.
Jeez, we're going to have to knock him down a peg or two, otherwise he'll fire us and go start another band or something.
Yeah, no.
You suck.
So is your drummer technically your founder?
Technically, I think
guy?
I'm the founder because I wanted to put together this amazing hair metal band, and then I realised Steel Panther had started, so I thought I'm not going to do that. And then I found Mick through a Facebook page. He was friends with drummer Mick. We have 2 Micks. And then, John came in through the Facebook ad, and it really fell into place really quick. There wasn't any auditions, or he just sort of came in and away we went.
So 2 years obviously as a band, and within about a year you had an EP come out last year, was it? When did it come out? It was an EP called On Your Bike, 5-song EP, came out last year. How quickly did that come about?
Those first couple of songs, you guys had the bones of them before I'd even come in. So it was actually a dream. Just sort of had these backing tracks that I had to put vocals over, and I got, books of scroll and notes saved on my phone and things like that. So it was just a matter of sort of finding what fit, and so that sort of motored along pretty quickly, and then, we'd learn a few covers and sort of tweaked a few songs to, suit where we were going, and I don't know, I think it must have been over a year that it's out, so we must have got it out within the first
quick
6 months of playing, I think, and we've just finished recording number 2, so...
When will that come out?
The
October.
17th. Oh, sorry, yeah,
October 19.
October 19. So there'll be a launch up in the lovely venue. Are we allowed to say venue names?
Yeah.
Yep. In
Bombay Rock.
Bombay Rock.
Okay.
The amazing Bombay Rock. Who's been nothing but supportive. So let's put in a pitch for them.
It's the best night out in Melbourne.
It's the best night out in Melbourne. I'll agree with that.
Excellent. Does the new release have a title?
We're discussing it at the moment.
It's a
work in progress.
Okay, so working progress. Is it a full album or is it another EP, by the way?
So this one's going to be 6 tracks.
It's 6 tracks.
So yeah, I mean, it's the. When I was listening to these 2 albums that we're about to talk about, I know a little bit about them, and you think, Motley Crue's all living in a house together.
Yeah.
Nicky Sixx is selling light bulbs. They're desolate basically.
Yeah.
But they just have all this time for music. We got jobs and families and kids and all this kind of stuff. So we're probably only good for 6 tracks every 12 months. But yeah, no, is what it is.
Yeah.
Does anyone even buy albums anymore?
I still get CDs.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, I do.
I bet the guy who does the rock podcast still does. But I'm not sure, Spotify and stuff like that.
I used to do a program on Sin called The Mosh Pit, and you'd have to burn songs onto a CD to play them.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
I don't think we're doing too bad. I mean, it's 2 years in. We've got 11 recorded tracks. So
yeah,
that's a record.
Well,
put the 2 together.
It's only 6 tracks, but each track goes for 17 minutes minimum. So
we went prog.
Yeah, it's actually
It's
over 4 discs.
Yeah. Double gatefold vinyl. So it's going to be a nice package.
So
Excellent. So
this is all lies.
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't be. I'm pretty sure. You don't seem like you'd deceive too many of us.
No, it's true, never.
Okay, no worries. So that's just a little bit of information on Bastard North there for you. They've got a new release, October 19th.
October 19th will be with the release.
Have a new release in location in question.
Be Bombay Rock.
Excellent. So that's where you can find more information about them. You can also check them out on Facebook, Bandcamp, and SoundCloud.
Or Smashfest. Smashfest. There we go. I've done my plug. There you go, Ash.
Thank you very much. You're doing my job for me, and much better, might I add. But we have been brought together, boys. You requested to do a battle between Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood and Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I think we've probably had this out a few times in between breaks at band practice, just on these 2. I mean, we really would have loved to do a Motorhead one, but you guys did a freaking smashing job on the, was it Back in Black?
Back in Black and Ace of Spades.
Yeah. So enjoyed listening to that during the week. But look, these are great albums.
They are great albums.
What is it about them that you gravitate to?
Oh, well, as I was telling you off air a bit earlier on, I mean, Appetite came out in 87, and that was just an amazing year for hair metal, the genre, whatever you want to call it. White Snake's 1987, Def Leppard's Hysteria, I think, came out in 87, Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue, Appetite for Destruction. There were just bands, and there's a bunch more. You can look it up on the internet. Just look up Rock in 87. There was just all the bands at the time were just kicking goals. It was just a great, great time for rock. And then out came Appetite, and it just exploded. It was an amazing record. It captured that time really well, I think, and I think that's the strength of it.
Mark's probably, he's going to win on some of these arguments because he was alive and,
I was.
For these albums to come out. I was born in 86, so
were you?
My first introduction to Guns N' Roses was Terminator 2 Judgment Day coming out, and so, Use Your Illusion era, and they were just over VO hits and Rage, and my mum hated them, which is always going to, make you get into something pretty much. My mum hated Guns N' Roses, but probably rightly so. Like, I don't know how
not
good a bloke Axl was, at that stage, but I just couldn't get enough of them at that stage. I remember the grade 6s at Commercial Road Primary School in Morwell. If you could sing the fast bit in what's the song?
That bit?
No. In the big song that was in the Terminator 2 clip, You Could Be Mine. You know, there's the fast bit. So that'd all be in the playground, seeing who could get further into the lyrics. And this is when you couldn't, Google the lyrics. And you
pre-Google.
And you probably had a taped cassette, so you didn't have the liner notes. So it was just times. Huge. But then it wasn't until a few years after that someone gave me my first cassette of Appetite, and it just blew me away. I thought Guns N' Roses were amazing, but there's something special about that album, especially being a debut. I shudder to think, how do you be a bunch of, dropouts and whatever, and come together and just go, pow, here is Appetite for Destruction. It blows my mind.
So I gather, John, you coming in today, you are believing that Appetite for Destruction will win this battle today.
Oh, yeah. Look, I know how strong Mark's going to argue for some of the songs.
I'm not going to argue about it.
Mark, you are Feelgood leaning.
I'm definitely the Feelgood
thing.
I think Appetite was a great record, but I think out of these two, Feelgood just punches.
Yeah, look, God, both albums give you something different.
Definitely they do. Look, there's still going to be no loser, however it comes out. They're both great records.
That everyone should seek out.
And everyone should have them.
Definitely. Like, Dr. Feelgood makes me want to put on an eye patch and pretend I'm in a dystopian future a la Escape from LA, and I just think that's the perfect soundtrack for that. But Appetite for Destruction, even though I was listening to it long after it came out, that was my soundtrack.
Right.
I got around in a Guns N' Roses t-shirt and drove around in beat up Commodores, just blaring it, and it was awesome.
I tied up my long hair and came out of my Kiss alcove and wandered down the record store and bought it when it came out, and I've still got the damn thing on vinyl.
Well,
she's a bit well played, but I've still got it.
Be worth quite a bit if you put it up on auction, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
An original pressing. It's hard to come about these days.
First pressing.
Exactly. Okay, I think that's enough talking. I think it is time to put these albums one-on-one against each other. This is you guys requested this for me to do. And luckily, thank you very much for doing that, because leading into this, I was a very, very, very casual Guns N' Roses listener. I'd never listened to a Motley Crue song ever, so this was a wonderful adventure for me.
Wow. Look, Feelgood's the nice way in.
Jeez.
Okay.
An Appetite.
It is. It probably is.
And on that note, let's the battle begin. Timekeeper, please ring the bell. Thank you very much. Okay, let's start off with track 1. Now, these are going to be treated as individual tracks, by the way. TNT, Terror in Tinseltown versus Welcome to the Jungle.
No, you can't do that, because it's just a little intro.
You can. We've discussed it before we came online,
really?
and I was happy to lose the first song, because there's no way that the little intro.
The intro reminds me of? It's like what's Ice-T's band?
Body Count?
Body Count, yeah. It's the Body Count has a like it would be a police siren. Hey, what are you doing down there? And I think that I listen to it in headphones today, it says a young man is ODing out the front of his blah blah blah. It's just
it sets the scene. It's a little bit of
but
colour.
Do they need it?
It does set the scene. Admittedly, it's a good transition.
But
track,
you think of what comes after it. You think,
look, I was willing to just take this one on the chin and go Terror in Tinseltown.
Well, I was trying to go on the bat, but come on, Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the Jungle.
That's a no-brainer. It's Welcome to the Jungle. That is a great song, and that to open that album with a song that strong.
Oh yeah, that's song number 1.
That is song number 1. If you put that record on and that ding 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 ding, the intro to the
guitar. I think the intro guitar it's polarizing between what Mick Mars does on guitar and what Slash does, and I think it sort of sums it up there. Is when and Mick Mars is a great guitarist, don't get me wrong. When Mick Mars plays guitar and tries to make it sound like other things, it sounds like a guitar with lots of effects on it. When Slash tries to make it sound like other things, it does. Like the guitar sort of transforms into all these other landscapes. And I think that's probably the big difference. One of the differences for me. That's just what I'm hearing, but that's one of the reasons why I think Appetite's a stronger album. But come on, Welcome to the Jungle.
It's Welcome to the Jungle.
It's Welcome to the Jungle. I mean, that's an easy one.
Here's a fun fact about the lyrics. Axl Rose wrote the lyrics about the dark side of Los Angeles when he was in Seattle, when he had time away from the city.
I thought it was because he was finding himself in the city, and this guy came up to him and went, "You know where you are?
You're in the jungle, baby.
You're gonna die."
I think they might have been in a different city.
Yeah, right. But like, this is one of the things I struggle with songs. Like, someone comes up to you in the street and gives you gold like that, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm going to write one of the greatest." Yeah, well, that's
write a memo.
You know what? People come up to me in the street, they're like, "G'day, mate. Can I have a smoke?" Like, how many songs can you write songs about that? You know,
give me some good lyrics, man.
Jeez, I hope you made it up. I hope you just made it up and came up with a backstory that made me sleep better at night.
All right. Well, I'm happy to be down 1-0 after that one.
Yeah, it's 1-0 across the board.
Cannot talk against Welcome to the Jungle. Great song.
You can't. But here's some debate. Dr. Feelgood versus It's So Easy.
Oh, that's easy. And it's so easy, in fact, it's Dr. Feelgood.
Ooh, okay. Do you know what? When I first listened to it, I didn't enjoy it, but it's grown on me ever since preparing for this podcast.
Dr. Feelgood?
It has grown on me, yes.
It's a great
But
riff.
It's So Easy is really, really good fun.
See, I'd say It's So Easy is probably one of the weaker songs on the album.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is a weak song on that album.
Oh, there's a
They've done plenty of weak songs. I just don't think it's on that album.
Oh.
So if you wanted to listen to the best of Guns N' Roses, you put on Appetite. You wanted to listen to the best of Motley Crue, you'd go buy a compilation.
You'd go buy a compilation. That's already. We've already gotten something controversial.
But I'm going to give it to Feelgood. I can't argue.
I have to ponder with that for a minute. You can always edit this out later. Let me, No, if I was, introduction to Motley Crue, I'd probably go Girls, Girls, Girls. That's a great album from Go to Way.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about that tonight.
Anyway, so the winner of this one is definitely Dr. Feelgood.
I'm going to give it to Feelgood.
It's got that D down, as I was saying, it's tuned down to D like most of Motley Crue. It's just got that chunk. And it just makes you want to put your leather pants on and go and get a convertible.
Is it the same theme as Dr. Rock by Motorhead? Is that what it is, Dr. Feelgood? Is he, like a vendor of good times? And
Dr. Feelgood is a vendor, a purveyor of certain things that we won't be discussing.
Let's get this rock and roll party going on. We'll get Dr. Feelgood in. He'll get it rocking.
It's probably down the same line as Dr. Rock.
Yeah, okay.
Mark, can I just quickly ask the question on the title track? Vince Neil has considered the song as their signature song. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is
really?
That's Motley Crue.
That's the personification of them.
The chunk, just the riff.
Not Livewire?
Oh, jeez.
Not Kickstart My Heart?
Kickstart My Heart, no. Oh, that's a sort of a
really? That to me, that's Motley Crue. That's got all the components for Motley Crue.
Not quite sleazy enough for Crue.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to give it to Feelgood on this one. I think that riff alone is, coming up with that, you'd have a smile on your face.
Another quick question on about the guitar riffs and all that. Is there, just from a guitar technique perspective, because I'm very curious about this, is there technically tapping in the solo? Like there's tapping techniques going on?
Oh, I don't know. It sounds like it's like a little delay and things. Like it's got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know.
I know Mars is a fan of tap, but he's also a fan of his whammy bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I
there's
thought
a
there was
lot of
quite a bit
whammy in there.
Oh, there's heaps of whammy. There's a whammy from Go to Woe when you're listening to Crue. Nothing wrong with that. But as far as tapping, I don't know. I'd have to look at a clip, I guess. Oh no, there is. Yeah, definitely.
There is tapping going on.
There's tapping.
You're very close to convincing me. I still think It's So Easy. It grabbed me much quicker than it did Feelgood.
Oh, look.
It grabbed me much quicker, I must say. The Guns N' Roses
yeah.
track.
Look, I'm just.
What's your opinion if you're concerned? You're the appetite-leaning guy, and yet you're still willing to go.
Oh, I just think, look, it's a fantastic song. Again, like I don't think there's a weak song on the album. I just, for a bit of back and forth, you know what? I'm happy with my decision. I'm going to go with Feelgood.
I'm actually going to take It's So Easy.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh,
I
controversial.
I genuinely am going to take It's So Easy.
Ooh,
so
there we go.
it's 2-0 Guns N' Roses way on my end.
Well, I wouldn't be unhappy with that.
Weak.
It's weak.
Fine.
He's going to feed your Frankenstein.
All right, track number 3, Slice Your Pie versus Night Train.
Slice Your Pie. So
this one's another one that grew on me recently. I couldn't care less about it the first time I listened to it. Now it's starting to enjoy me. It's got that gritty attitude to it.
Has it got at the end of it, is it that do, 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 do? Like it sort of goes into a bit of a slow bit?
Yes, it does.
You know what that is? That is, I hear in this song is the Beatles. I hear Beatles chord changes and like, like Beatles harmonies, Sgt. Pepper era, and that outro is the end of She's So Heavy, which is off Abbey Road.
Would not surprise me.
It's so similar. Like it's definitely them tipping their hat.
Oh yeah.
But I never heard Beatles references in Motley Crue until this week.
I think Nicky Sixx is openly a huge Beatles fan.
Oh, well, he has to be. Like, there's a song later on.
Aerosmith fan. That was the other one. Huge Aerosmith fan.
Of course. I mean, they're an extension of Aerosmith.
They are.
Definitely. But, and what was the Gunners track, sorry?
Night Train.
Oh, Night Train.
Night Train, I found out, was a song about a brand of wine that they could only afford. It was the only alcohol they could afford. Obviously,
Look,
that's what you write about, I guess.
I'm probably doing myself no favours here, but as I said at the start, there are no losers.
Yes.
Either album is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to go for Night Train on that one.
I'd agree with you, Mark.
And you know what I like about Night Train is if you didn't know that it was cheap wine, and you probably don't because we don't have Night Train, we have Fruity Lexia.
Or Colt 45. What's that awful stuff you can buy in 7-Elevens in America? I'm sure it's called Colt 45.
No idea, but I really like how that you didn't know that was going on. Like it was about cheap wine. It's still an awesome song about I'm on a train and it's
it sounds like he's on a night train off somewhere. It's a train journey,
which is pretty boring, really. You think about it, it's just public transport. But the way he sings it, this is the coolest train
ever. It sounds like a kick-ass driving song as well.
Oh, it is. It is the whole album.
Oh yeah, I wrote in my notes. This is probably the third song across this whole album. With 3 songs in, all of them I could put on the perfect driving playlist.
Definitely. Night Train's good.
Yeah, I'm taking Night Train too. What are you going to take?
Oh, Night Train all the way.
All the way.
I'll have another glass of Night Train.
Night Train. Also, a big shout out to PTV. You do good work.
yeah, they do good work. But just so we don't do a disservice to Slicey Pie, that song did grow on me.
It is a good song, but up against Night Train, I'm going to have to admit defeat on that one. It's definitely Night Train.
So currently the scores stand at Mark leading Appetite for Destruction 2-1. 2-1 for John, Appetite for Destruction, and for myself it is 3-0.
3-0?
3-0.
Jeez.
All right.
Bias?
I told you he'd be the argumentative one.
Argumentative? I'm putting points gently.
Friendly discourse.
Friendly discussion. Exactly.
Friendly discourse it is on the Great Metal Standoff. Rattlesnake Shake versus Out to Get Me.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good pairing because I say Out to Get Me is not
a strong song.
Not the strongest one on the album.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Yeah, it's not.
And I'd say Rattlesnake Shakes. It's very much.
I don't think that's
it could have been
a
cut it from the Jesus, and it cut from an Aerosmith album that they picked it up and they've gone and this is another thing that you can sing about the animals in America and they sound cool, coyotes and grizzly bears and rattlesnakes. Imagine what do we got in Australia? You go, oh, the koala bear rumble. It's so much harder to
kangaroo hop.
Yeah. But I'm gonna
the echidna shuffle. I've got nothing. I'm working on it.
I'm gonna say It's So Easy, only because I'd say, because I'm on the Gunners side. But I don't know if there's that much between it.
Rattlesnake Shake is a good song. I think It's So Easy is definitely one of the weaker tracks on that.
But you know what's bad about
It's So Easy or Out to Get Me?
Sorry, what are we doing? Out to Get Me?
Out to Get Me versus Rattlesnake Shake.
Rattlesnake Shake's got those fake orchestral hits on the keyboard as well, which really annoys me.
It did say it had a horn section.
It doesn't have a horn section. It's a keyboard. It's like a Casio keyboard. And
right.
Those orchestral hits, and which annoys me because if Motley Crue weren't doing so many extracurricular activities, they could have definitely afforded a horn section, but they've wheeled in the Casio. They're getting points off for that.
I think it was actually a horn section.
For me.
I think it was a horn section.
It's the thinnest, weakest, most electric sounding horn section I've ever heard.
Well, that's down to Bob Rock. What are you doing, Bob?
She's saving cash. Imagine the budget they had on the album.
Rattlesnake Shake for me.
Rattlesnake Shake for you?
No.
You're going to take Out to Get Me?
Yeah.
It's
a great song.
Yeah, let's put it this way. If Out to Get Me went up against Slice Your Pie, in my mind, Slice Your Pie would get the point. Because I don't care. I couldn't really care less for Rattlesnake Shake. So I'm only giving the point to Out to Get Me, only because I don't like Rattlesnake Shake.
Oh, I'm getting... Do the Rattlesnake Shake. Nah. Come on, it's such a booty shaker.
Nah.
A booty shaker.
It's lazy. That's what I feel.
It's lazy songwriting?
It's lazy.
Okay. Mr. Brownstone versus Kickstart My Heart.
Oh,
no brainer.
God.
No brainer.
Brownstone, of course.
Kickstart.
When I went and saw Velvet Revolver, this is the closest I've seen to going to see Guns N' Roses, never seen them live. All I wanted them to play that night was Mr. Brownstone, and they did. And it was awesome. And I'm going to say Mr. Brownstone. And you know what? Really great example of that overpronounced vowel, which I think comes down to Scott Weiland and Axl Rose being the masters of. You know, Brownstone, always.
Kickstart.
And isn't it interesting? Both the subject matters are pretty dark, but yet they're this kind of boogieing, you know.
I don't know.
I do like Kickstart.
Kickstart My Heart. The quintessential driving song, powerful riff. It's just, you know, it's a great song from Go to Woe. It's classic Motley Crue.
It is.
It's to me. I mean, Brownstone. I can take it or leave it. I mean,
I agree with you, Mark.
It's a good song, but
Brownstone all the way.
Again, look. As much as I like Appetite, I think there are some weak songs on it, because I've written every classic rock song under the songs I write. They're amazing. But that's probably up against Kickstart.
Nah.
I think it's just all the way.
It's aged because of all that reverb they chucked on it.
See, I always listen to Appetite and obviously Appetite for Destruction and Dr. Feelgood all week. And I think sonically, if you're speaking strictly sonically, Appetite for Destruction has really aged. It's got that
I was prepared to say the same thing.
And I thought that 89 Feelgood
what are you talking
thing,
about?
Bob Rock.
Whoa, yeah.
That Bob Rock production just stands up.
So much reverb on that snare that it's still going on in my car that I parked 10 minutes ago from listening to.
You know, Lars likes reverb, so we can't knock the reverb.
Yeah, reverb, you got to use it right. And I think, I don't know, this is probably where ears are a little bit different, is I think that Appetite stands up in the modern day far better than Feelgood.
See, I would say the exact opposite.
And it comes down to production.
And yeah, I would say it comes down to production. But I really like Bob Rock's production. I mean, he's done Feelgood. He did Veruca Salt's 8 Arms to Hold You, which is a brilliant, brilliant album. He did the first Kingdom Come one. What else has he done? Obviously, he's had the work with Metallica, which directly came out of Feelgood.
Yes.
So
Lars Ulrich actually was so impressed by the production of Dr. Feelgood that's why he got Bob Rock onto Metallica's side for the Black Album.
Yeah, well, there you go. I guess, I don't know, I just kind of like that maybe more, I don't know, rock sort of underproduced sound.
Yeah, I like my gloss.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
At least we can agree on that.
Anyway,
but
so
does that just mean that
I'm saying Kickstart.
Crew got one?
Did Crew get one?
The Crew got one on my end, most definitely. I went for Kickstart My Heart. So now the scores stand for myself. 4-1 to Appetite, 2-2 for Mark, and it is do you take Mr. Brownstone?
Oh, of course.
It's 4-1 to John in favour of Appetite.
As you can see, I'm the only one with the balanced, considered point of view, willing to listen to all sides.
Okay. just on a quick little digression here. What do you look for in Bastard North production?
To be quite frank, I leave it to these guys because it's well above me.
Boils down to one thing: the cheapest way we can do it. No, it's the first one we did was pretty DIY. We were just in a rehearsal studio, pretty big room, and
where did we do that?
Bakehouse. And we lugged in a whole bunch of gear and sort of made it all work and did some overdubs in the shed at the guitarist's place.
We say shed, but he's actually very nice.
Got it. He's done well.
Set up. It's nice.
It's and then we got the drummer to mix it, and then I think we sent it off to get it mastered by someone else. But it was pretty good. We're certainly happy with it.
Yeah.
And then this time we brought in Gregor Friday to produce us, basically, and he's now mixing and mastering, and he's amazing. So he's taken us to that next level where we didn't have to worry about, plugging things in and pushing record and things like that. But, I still think that, we probably sound best live. That's how. It's probably because that's how I hear us the most. But I always think that some of our live versions of the song, probably never be able to replicate in the studio.
We've struggled a bit with that. We're definitely a live band, and we've noticed that when we've tried to record stuff before, that it just loses the passion or something. But Gregor was amazing. I've never had so much fun being told,
Do it again.
Yeah, do it again. Or, that was good, but I think you got a better one in you.
Is that all you got?
No, I don't like that. Try that again. I've never had so much fun being told that. It was a really good experience, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all comes out. It's great fun recording it.
I think the live album. I always listen to the live album.
Right.
Would
you say it's more of a balancing act, isn't it, between how you sound live and how you sound in the studio? Is there
no? It's a window. So for us, it's a window. So it's like playing pool. If we in that really good frame of mind, and we've had a bit of a relax during the day, and listen to some good bands on before us and things like that. That's generally when we really shine. But
the zone.
Yeah, the zone. There's definitely a zone.
Right. Okay. Excellent.
So trying to balance that across 4 days of recording was tricky for us.
Excellent. All right. Now back to the battle. Next up, Without You versus Paradise City.
Paradise City. Without You is the
Without
cheesiest.
You's the ballad.
Cheesiest. It's
one
of them.
It's the
one of
first
the ballads.
ballad.
It's the first ballad. Look, I'm not a fan of Without You.
I'd rather listen to Bon Jovi if I want to hear that.
Bon Jovi is amazing.
I know. I'm not saying anything against bad about Bon Jovi, but I'm just saying if I want to hear a big lovey-dovey ballad, acoustic guitars,
You'd listen to Always, wouldn't you?
No, the first 5 Bon Jovi, up to Keep the Faith, they were amazing. After that, I don't know what happened.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's one of those things, but that's what I hear. I hear that. It's a cross between Bon Jovi and Queen. It's kind of got that sort of...
Well, it was 89.
Yeah.
Everyone. It was the standard thing with the metal bands. You had to have the power ballad.
But you got to give the band a rest on the stage as well. I think that's what some of those songs are designed to do.
Every band had, Whitesnake had Is This Love, and, I'm sure is there a ballad on Appetite?
No, you got to go to Use Your Illusion. Like Rocket Queen's probably the closest one.
Yeah.
Small fun fact about Without You. It is a song about the drummer Tommy Lee's relationship with actor Heather Locklear.
They were married for quite a while. Good on them.
Yeah, right.
Good on them. Are they still together, or was it one of those
definitely.
classic celebrity relationships where it just didn't work out in the end?
Well,
they were genuinely...
How many times has he been married?
Twice?
Oh,
3?
It must be more than that.
They were married for a number of years. It wasn't any flash in the pan.
He was married to Pamela Anderson.
And he was married to Pam.
And I think there was another Playboy bunny in there at some point.
I'm sure they all might have.
How about this? If you want to fact check us, hit us up, facebook.com/Metal Standoff pod.
Fact check the Motley Crue wives and partners, please, and give us a list so we'll learn.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's
Learning
very
is good.
of you. Thanks very much for that input there.
But definitely... sorry.
More fun fact about Paradise City. It is the only song on Appetite for Destruction to feature a synth.
It does. It has Axl playing a little synth line, which is tasteful. Whereas I find that some of the synth in the...
So the Gunners synth is tasteful.
It is.
The Motley synth
it's just enough.
Right.
It's just enough.
If it makes you feel
I'm
good.
rejecting that flatly.
Really?
All synth is... No, Paradise City. It's a great song. It's got that coda on the end where it just takes off.
Oh, yeah, that's the best thing about it. You're halfway through the song, you're thinking, this song rocks, and then it takes your head off.
Yep.
Goes to another level.
So you're in agreement too, John? It is Paradise City?
Yeah, definitely. I saw there was a VHS down at Civic Video in Warragul when I grew up, a VHS, and it was MTV Live, and it had Kiss playing something in a massive stadium. It had Megadeth playing Peace Cells, but it had Guns N' Roses in a tiny club. Izzy Stradlin's still on the stage, and Axl Rose jumps into the crowd, and they rip his shirt off, and it's just amazing. It must have been, on that first tour, I guess.
Yeah.
But it would have been like a 500 capacity venue, and like, my God, what a band! But they play Paradise City Sand Synth. It's one of the best live performances I've ever seen. Never been able to find the clip on YouTube though.
Really? Well, it's probably on a VHS somewhere.
Yeah,
If someone has the VHS, please put it on YouTube.
Please message John.
Definitely.
Or put it on YouTube.
Yes. The more it's out there, the more we can be exposed, right?
Did we all agree on Paradise City?
We all agreed on Paradise City, and John and I both set 5-1 in favour of Appetite, where it's actually competitive on your end, Mark. 3-2.
3-2. Well, you've got to think about these things, don't you?
Yeah.
But Motley Crue are going to come on strong at the end.
They're going to get. Do you think that we're witnessing a comeback story? Do you believe?
I don't know. I forget the track list, but
yeah, there's definitely been some good ones come out already, though.
Here's another one. Here's the next one. Same Old Situation, or SOS, versus My Michelle.
My Michelle, hands down.
Same Old Situation.
Nah.
So, okay. Locking that in?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
I love My Michelle. I think it's great.
Terrible song. No, it's fine. Same Old Situation. They still play it. Up until they finished up. When did Crue finish up? I'm thinking New Year's Eve 2017 when they wrapped up as a touring band.
You got really upset about last year, I think.
Yeah.
I went on the Wikipedia thing, and
it
said it looks like they ended around about 2015, 2016. But there's a little gap here that says like they've reunited this year or something like, or late last year. There's a little
they
there.
did do a couple of tracks for the Netflix show The Dirt. They recorded the tracks, but as a touring band, they ended.
They've retired.
It was New Year's Eve. Last show was in the Forum, LA, from memory. Let anyone feel free to fact check that. So they're done but they played it from this album. They played it every tour, as best I'm aware, up until the end. It's a great track.
I remember them playing it when I saw him. Rod Laver, Motorhead opened for him, blew him off the stage. Got to say,
Motorhead opened for Motley Crue.
Oh yeah,
wow.
I was at that show. No, they didn't.
Yes, they bloody well did. And they even had the house lights up for him. That's how much disrespect they showed to Motley Crue. I'll never forget though that same night. Foo Fighters were playing at the other big stadium across the road, and as we were filing out, all revved up after seeing the Crue, someone yelled out, "Let's go beat up the Foo Fighters crowd!" Yeah!
We don't condone violence, but yes,
no, it was funny. No one condones violence.
All in banter.
Yeah, it was all in banter.
Which year was this when the Motley Crue came down and there was a Foo Fighters show?
2005, 6?
Yeah, because I think we got that show. I was living in Perth at the time. We got that show as a one-off festival called the Blackjack Festival.
Right.
Where I managed to see the Fireballs. Was it the Fireballs? Living End, Motorhead, and Motley Crue, who were doing their Carnival of Sins circus thing. So they had...
that's not a bad line.
On stilts and, ringmasters and things.
They only brought half of it to Australia.
Well, there was a ton of pyro and things going boom, so I was happy.
Mick Mars is off the stage every 5 minutes getting an injection and a readjustment.
Well, the man does have ankylosing spondylosis. Not a good disease.
And only a true fan would know that. No, I'm sure lots of people.
Good on you, Mick. That was a great show. So there's no... I mean, that was the second time I'd ever seen Motorhead, and they were amazing, but there's no way they blew Motley off the stage on the Carnival tour. But
I'll tell you, My Michelle is a better song. It's got so much attitude. It's dripping in attitude. It's just really dark subject matter. But I kind of like how I'm going to mention Beatles again. My Michelle, the Beatles song. I like how it was this kind of nice flip on it, where it's you've got Paul McCartney singing Michelle, my belle, speaking French, and then they're all like, "Your dad is watching porno now that mommy's not around." It's just so awesome.
Admittedly, when I was listening to it, I could picture like a musical performance in a theatre, like a very operatic kind of feel.
Really?
In my mind, I thought it'd be funny if you did a stage adaptation of that song.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you're fresh to both albums. What would you say out of Same Old Situation and My Michelle?
Same Old Situation got a little bit repetitive. It's what did I put down in my little notes? It felt like party music to me.
That's exactly right.
It's
the Same Old Situation is a party. It's a party rock song, and that's probably that's in my wheelhouse. I never got into grunge and everything because it was
okay. Really,
I like Nirvana a bit.
You said they sucked. We couldn't
well,
play,
I'm trying
to play Bleach.
I'm trying to get the kids on side, man. To get the kids on side.
We tried to play Negative Creep, and you said no, they suck.
Can you sing Negative Creep?
Oh, probably not like Kurt Cobain, but I was going to give it a stab.
Give it a go. All right.
I think I had to play Lithium in a band once, and it was just oh my god.
Yeah.
That was like fingernails down a blackboard. That one. Anyway, Same Old Situation.
It's Same Old Situation.
It's a good party rock song. I think it beats My Michelle.
That for you, Mark, has led it to 3-3.
Well, there you go. The man is unbiased.
Is it like a breakup song? Is it I'm sick of my current partner, same old ball and chain? Is that what the reference is?
I believe so. Though willing to be corrected. The lyrics are blanked. For a man who likes Motley Crue as much as I'm completely blanked on the lyrics at the moment.
What I've got here, My Michelle is a song about a friend of the band, Michelle Young. So if you went to look up about the woman Michelle Young, you'd probably find out about her story. You'd probably get
We're going to have a
Where
lot
the
of
lyrics came
homework. We're
from.
going to have a lot of homework for the people that listen to this. We'll have an essay, 1,500 words.
Yes.
I would have done all
referenced.
this research. I've just forgotten it.
In fairness, I painted a bunch. I could think a lot of like visual ideas. Like I could see myself sitting in a theatre watching like a musical of My Michelle taking place, and that's why I'm going to take My Michelle.
Yeah.
Just because I could draw a bunch of like my own little artiste.
I'm going to take same old situation because I don't like thinking too much. I just like good rock and roll.
My Michelle makes me think of Natural Born Killers.
Good film.
It's that kind of,
It's dark.
dark.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a shell.
But
I'm
it's
shallow.
got that
I like
nice,
paddling along
well,
the top of the water.
you
Yeah, I'm a shallow.
just can't tell. And it goes back to sort of like a Beatles song.
My Michelle.
It's fingernails. No, it's same. Anyway, a good song. Yeah.
It's getting very more begrudging as we go along, isn't it, Mark?
No, look, either album, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. All right. Sticky Sweet versus Think About You.
I think about you. Oh, that's got to have synth in it as well, actually.
I'm blanking. How does thinking about you go?
I'm thinking about you.
There's a bit of a.
I just wanted him to sing. Keep going.
I'm thinking about you.
It's kind of like it's similar to some of the first three songs, kind of like "It's So Easy" and "Night Train," but it's got a little bit of acoustic melody in the chorus.
I reckon that's got.
That's
synth
a
in it
nice
as
little
well.
different put to it, placing to it.
Oh, yeah, it's all come flooding back. Thinking about you. Mm-mm. I'm not going to sing.
Wow, there's lots of James Brown kind of.
I was talking about him today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But Sticky Sweet, Sticky Sweet gets mentioned like Sticky Sweet, Sticky this, She's Sticky. It's all over that album.
Yeah.
Aerosmith Steve Tyler sang backing vocals on this song.
On Sticky Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Unsurprising.
Jeez. Well, there you go. The master coming in, like the elder
Passing on
statesman
the
coming
baton.
in. It's
Apparently, from what I read, it was because Aerosmith were recording one of their albums at the time in the same studio, so they were hanging out quite a lot during that period of time.
What were
Can
they
you
doing?
imagine?
Permanent vacation?
You hear all these stories. It's like, bloody, friggin', I don't know.
Fact check. When did Permanent Vacation come
Eddie
out?
Van Halen was just down the road, so we thought, can you just do some backing vocals? Even though you,
Hey, Steve, can you stick your head in?
don't
and
worry
do...
about the
All
guitar,
right. Yeah.
but just do some oys.
In a
for
more
us, will ya?
contemporary sense, Foo Fighters did the exact same thing with Concrete and Gold a couple of years ago. Had a bunch of people come in, Justin Timberlake, Boyz II Men. They did all a bunch
how
of...
good are Foo Fighters? Let's just take a moment. How good are Foo Fighters?
Yeah, not convinced.
They're one of my favourite bands.
Nah, I wanted to beat them up. Nah. All in jest. Oh, jeez.
All
I
in
reckon.
jest,
I reckon
yes.
it's going to be a landslide to the Motley Crue after my Foo Fighters comments. Maybe, perhaps.
it's
But
gonna
I'm sticking with.
Please get ready with all your pitchforks and everything at Building 6.
But what is Sticky Sweet about? What's he trying to say there?
Oh,
You know what he's trying to say.
I feel like
And
self-explanatory.
I'm actually going to have to go. What's the title of the Gunner song?
Think About You.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Think About You. I think that's a good tune.
I think we're all in agreement on this one.
Think about.
I reckon it's got
Having
synth
a
as
little
well.
dance along here.
Look up that. I want to know.
Sticky Sweet. It's a good song, but it's bubblegum rock, and I don't think it can stand up to.
It is. There's a lot of cheese.
That's cheese. That's probably one of the weakest tracks on that album.
Ooh, hot take there. Currently, this is what the scores stand at the moment. John, Appetite for Destruction for you is leading 7-1, as with I. It's 7-1. Mark, even Guns N' Roses for you is in the lead at 4-3.
Well, there you go. I mean,
Wow.
this is how we learn. We discuss. We assess.
You were so adamant during the week.
No
though.
opinions have to be set. I mean, you must learn.
Yeah. Oh, but
Grow.
look, hey, chuck them both on your Spotify playlist and dance around in your kitchen. You have a great time, guaranteed.
That's what I was doing in the week leading up to this podcast.
There you go.
All I know is if I go to put a record on any of those two, it'll be Feelgood every time. So
Okay. This one I feel like is a complete mismatch. She Goes Down versus Sweet Child of Mine.
Sweet Child of Mine.
She Go is down in 2019.
You can't be.
That
doing
ain't-
that.
It wouldn't
fine.
make the album, would it?
No.
But it was a different time.
It was a
It
different
was.
time.
It was a different
Times
time.
was
have changed for
89.
better.
Yeah,
in
definitely for the
many ways.
better.
It was a time of massive hair and skin tight leather pants,
Spandex.
and that was on the guys.
And you know what? Sweet Child of Mine has been absolutely ruined by commercial radio stations. So
What,
look,
through being overplayed?
oh, definitely.
Okay.
That's the worst thing. Is if you were going to get into classic rock or whatever, and you portal was all you had was commercial radio.
Gold
Jesus,
104.
you miss out on all the good stuff. Exactly. That's the only Gunner song you're going to hear.
Yeah. Look,
it is a mismatch, isn't it?
I'll be honest. Sweet Child of Mine, I'm absolutely sick of it. I can't hear it every time I hear.
It's a beautifully crafted.
Every time I hear that riff, I turn it off because
the lyrics are amazing.
It's just been
She's
played
got
to
eyes
death.
of the bluest skies.
However,
It's going to beat She Goes
it's
Down.
a great
isn't it?
song, and
It
it's
is
going to beat
fantastic.
She Goes Down
All right.
every day of the week.
Mismatch.
I reckon we've said
Mismatch.
enough on that one. I reckon
Yep.
we can.
What? No, I want to actually ask a few questions about this song. Actually,
I know it's.
what is your stance on Slash hating it?
Oh, can
I
you
hate
imagine playing that riff all the time?
But the fact that he came about and he thought, oh, this whole guitar line is a joke, and it became one of the most iconic songs
Because
of the time.
it was a guitar exercise, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. But can you imagine being Slash and like, I got to go buy myself a new Les Paul. I'm going to go down to Music Centre or whatever they got. You walk in through the door and you hear someone going badly. You're like, down, and you have to turn around.
Do
And
guitar
get your
stores
Les
have
Paul
like,
another day?
you know, they'll have the sign that says no stairway. Have they got like a little tacked on that says a no Sweet Child?
Yeah, I think there's another one. Blackbird. Here we go. The Beatles again.
Blackbird.
Apparently that's
Da-da.
the. Yeah, it's those three that
Maybe even Fade to Black. You could put Fade to Black in there. Oh, no, sorry, not Fade to Black. Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman
Yeah. There should be a list.
of overplayed riffs.
Just get on the Facebook
You
and give
just
us a
go on
list of
Gold
songs
104
that
if
should
you
never
wanna
be
hear
allowed to be
those
played in a
overplayed
guitar
risks.
in a guitar store.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, why not? Send your list. Facebook.com/Metal Standoff Pod. Pod. Here's a little bonus fact I found. I want to get your opinions on this because I'm not quite sure about this myself. In 2015, an article on Max was published discussing how Sweet Child of Mine and Australian crawl song Unpublished Critics sounded fairly similar, inviting readers to compare the two. The story went viral and eventually became somewhat of a suggestion that Unpublished Critics influenced Sweet Child of Mine. Are any of you aware of the Australian crawl song Unpublished Critics?
I am not. I mean, I liked a bit of Aussie crawl back in the day, but I don't remember that
I
one.
like a crawl, but no, I would have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
I guess.
But all
But
this,
they would have been touring the States. Like, it's not inconceivable, is it?
look, well, there's 8 notes. I mean, come on, there's literally 8 notes. All this stuff's going a bit crazy at the moment. I mean, Led Zeppelin getting sued again
But you know what?
for stealing that riff off that other band, which they might have done.
You know what I like?
Katy
in Sweet
Perry's
Child of
getting
Mine at
sued
that
and
start
'cause-
is not what Slash doing. I like what Duff's doing. That do 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 do
Yes.
do 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 do, which sort of is like it's what the solo is coming later in. You know, like
Great bass line.
Oh, he's a great bass player. He's underrated.
Yeah, Duffy's a great bass player.
Do you take any influence from Duff in your playing, Mark?
Too many
As a
notes.
bassist?
Too many notes.
Too many notes. So what kind of bassists do you get inspired by?
Look, I'm really meat and potatoes. I don't get. You know, back in the day, of course, you know, I used to do all that. You know, try to be Flea and all that sort of
Like a
stuff.
Les
and
Claypool or something.
Pistorius.
try to be, you know, much better than that. But nowadays, it's really meat and potatoes. It's
Doesn't
rock and
wheel
roll.
out the fretless too often.
No.
Yeah.
You know, it's bass to me is a drum. It's a musical. It's a rhythm instrument. It's not a guitar. It's a drum. So to me, it's rhythm. It's more important.
It's the moose, isn't it?
The moose.
You know, when you go down to the zoo and you can see the lions and the tigers and the elephants, or you can see the moose. The base is the moose.
It's the bottom end. It's the bit that
You're
ties everything
lukewarm
together.
water, aren't you?
Yeah, we're lukewarm water.
Yeah.
He's fire and he's ice, and I'm lukewarm
Lukewarm.
water.
Have you ever come to blows in a studio wanting the bass to be louder in the mix? Because apparently
No.
that's the big joke.
No, the joke in this band is I keep saying there's too much bass in the mix. I'm a guitar head. I mean, I like listening to guitar. It's just the way I roll, man. It's probably because I learnt classically. I learnt double bass playing in an orchestra, and then I switched over to bass. So there's no, you know, when you're playing with 50 people or 80 people in an orchestra, there's no, you know, lead double bass parts. You sort of You're down in the mix. You're down in the mix.
Well,
You're
Nicky
providing
Six
the
is
chunk.
very down in the mix on Dr. Feelgood. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
there. It's a big
he's-
booming sound, but like there's no definition.
Yeah,
you
to
know,
me
it's very little. if
That's
there
the
is.
perfect bass mix.
Yeah. There's nothing
it's
wrong
there,
with it.
and it's
Especially when you got someone like Mick Mars and you're in a three-piece and you're trying to fill out the sound. Like, it's exactly what they need to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, musically we're a three-piece, so it's that my role is to fill it out, walk that line between the rhythm guitar and the drums, and just sort of fill.
You're a fine moose, man.
I'm a great moose, and I like being a moose.
There's one for you sound engineers.
But if you're one of these bass players and can do a little more power to you. I've forgotten.
You've forgotten?
I used to be able to do that stuff, but nah.
All right. Well, there you go. There's one for you bass players out there. All right. We're coming on to the business end of the battle. We've got 3 songs remaining on Appetite and 2 songs remaining on Feelgood, so the Gold Star rule will come into effect later on.
Do we get a drum roll? There you go.
You should be a podcast host yourself, Mark.
I like talking into microphones. It's
what would your podcast be on?
I don't know. Star Trek?
You're right.
Star Trek versus Battlestar Galactica versus Babylon 5 versus Deep Space Nine. There you go. We could have a 4-way battle.
Take you years to get through that, wouldn't it?
I know. Be fun, though.
It would be exciting. I'd listen to that. That'd be quite interesting. Okay, back to the battle. Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away versus You're Crazy.
Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away, I think, is a great, great song. And I'm pitching for that.
It's something different.
It's something different. It's clever.
Can you remind me?
Don't go away mad.
No, just go away.
Just go away, yeah. Starts all sooky and then takes off a bit towards the end like Paradise.
I'm with you, Mark. I'm actually going to take that song too.
Clever lyrics, great song.
But I must say, You're Crazy. I didn't realise that Guns N' Roses can sound quite frenetic.
Yeah, it's...
Crazy. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
You're going to stick with You're Crazy?
Oh, yeah. Only because I can't even think. I only just listened to it 5 minutes ago.
Anyway, I think You're Crazy is the weakest song on Appetite for Destruction.
Most probably they buried up the back end.
Yeah, that's why it's down there. And Don't Go Away Mad.
I don't
Just Go Away. It gets it just for the lyric. That's clever.
That too.
That's clever.
Yes, very much so.
So I'm going with Don't Go Away Mad.
I might try and quickly go into my fun fact area. Here we go. This is it. Fun fact about the lyric. Nikki Sixx wrote the title after hearing it in a movie. He heard the line in a movie. However, he cannot recall what the movie was. And the lyrics also reference to Shout at the Devil song Too Young to Fall in Love. It's kind of a sequel song to that one back at Shout at the Devil.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Now I've got Too Young to Fall in Love stuck in my head.
It may not have been a movie, knowing Nikki Sixx. He might have just been talking to a wall or something like that. And
Sorry, I'm
away, just walk away mad. No, was it?
Don't
go away mad. Just go away.
Yeah, right.
Clever.
It sounds like a Bob Dylan lyric.
It's a great breakup song, isn't it? I mean,
he was the master of breakup songs.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to break up with your partner, you just play them that, and job done. I mean, they'd be out the door.
And you can feel, and you can have a bit of optimism about yourself. You're moving on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
There's a bit of optimism in
and
that
you listen
song.
to a good tune.
But if you get dumped, the greatest breakup album of all time is Use Your Illusion 2. That'll get you back up on your feet.
Oh, that's another show, but I'd probably agree with you. Yep.
Right, okay. So with that being said, now the scores stand at Mark. It is 5-4 in favour of Appetite still.
No,
it's
well,
5-4.
What are you going to do?
How does that make you feel?
Fine.
It's eye-opening, I think.
They're both good records.
For yourself,
they are both good records.
For yourself, John, it's 9-1.
Oh,
see, the man's he's blind. He's got no vision.
For myself, it's 8-2.
You've got slightly more vision.
Slightly more vision. I'll take that as the best compliment I've received all year. Thank you very much for that, Mark.
If it was like, if you could, if it fell in a different track listing order, it was Kickstart My Heart versus You're Crazy, then I can see where the points would have gone.
Yeah.
But Kickstart My Heart came up against Mr. Brownstone.
Yeah.
And Kickstart won.
Kickstart won out of the three of us.
No, not for me.
Yeah, obviously. It was 2-1. Where did that one come from? I must admit, I can see that point.
It was John.
I mean, I did a podcast myself on AC/DC and back Ace of Spades, Back in Black versus Ace of Spades, and I said if the track listing was a little bit different, Motorhead would have scored way more points.
Yeah. It's an interesting way to do when you break down a record
track by track
like this.
Yeah, but you know what? They're all trying to achieve the same thing. They're trying to do a beginning, middle, and end. Give people a solid bit of rock. And that's where we're seeing some of these lesser tracks sort of buried up the end, and maybe one coming down at the start of the record. Well, they're both very similar, aren't they?
This was on vinyl, remember? So these tracks were down the back of side too.
Yeah, right.
So you might not have even got there. Yeah.
interesting point to think about, but it makes you find... I kind of see... I've found a newfound appreciation for Guns N' Roses because,
great band.
There's some great songs on this album.
What happened?
All right.
To them, though?
Now it is time to get to the final Dr. Feelgood song, Time for Change, versus the second last on Guns N' Roses, Anything Goes.
My way, your way, anything goes tonight.
That's a party song in my opinion. It's good. It's a good fun. It's catchy, but it is a bit of a party song to me.
Surprisingly positive for.
Now it's time for change. Change.
That's another one of those optimistic songs, isn't it?
It's an optimistic.
It's John
love.
Lennon.
It's a love song, though. It's another ballad.
It's John Lennon's solo album. Give peace a chance. You know, that kind of everybody. Well, what is the change that Motley Crue wanted to bring about?
You'd have to ask Motley Crue. I mean,
It's odd though, don't you think? Because all their songs are kind of like, we live in this, hyper rock and roll world where, all the excesses are ours and everything, we want is at our fingertips. What are they trying to change?
I don't know. I mean, on a broader scale, a lot of 80s rock, hair metal, however you want to call it, that was all about positivity. That was all about in the moment, party, life's good, get out there and have fun. I mean, Paul Stanley says that all the time about Kiss, that, they always sing about positivity. And I think that a lot of hair metal was about that. It was all about
do you think it's political?
Well, there's the argument that hair metal's right wing, but I don't get into that.
Oh, some of it is.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I don't think Motley Crue, I just wouldn't have thought they would even given like two hoots.
Two hoots?
Who was in power and who wasn't.
Oh, it's not political.
I mean, nothing in this album sounds very political.
Well, what about this one? What's the change?
It's all about emotion. It's all about emotion.
It sounds more emotional.
It's emotional.
Emotional, is it?
I mean, you remember this was at the...
Vince Neil described it as gospel-y.
Yeah.
Gospel-y, okay.
So this was the end of... 89 was getting on towards the end of the 80s rock hair metal world, and we were just about to get destroyed by...
Grunge.
Nirvana.
And they foreshadowed it and said it's time for change.
Pearl Jam, great band. But again, that was emotion. So, 80s rock and everything was very up, very positive, very happy, and 90s grunge was far more reflective and... down and...
self-reflective.
I'm not going to say down. Down's the wrong word.
Yeah, it's like a very more self-reflective and...
considered point of view where it was, bands were like, before that was, let's get in the convertible and go for a drive and everything's fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't think that's what they were talking about.
I guess
that's a complete segue. What was the song?
It was Time for Change versus Anything Goes. I'm going for Time for
Change.
I'm
going for Time for Change too. I think it's a great tune.
For Anything Goes.
See,
really?
What are you going to do?
Wow.
Way, your way, anything goes tonight.
It's a bad song. It's a bad song.
It's got that breakdown where it's...
Is it a breakdown?
Was that a synth?
It's just kind of like a little bit of a pause in the song where, it sounds like the guitars are malfunctioning or something.
It reminded me either, like, when in AC/DC's TNT it has the Young Brothers going to that down, down, down. I thought it was that between the guitar part and the talk box. I thought I heard a talk box.
Yeah, there's talk box on it. Definitely.
Would you think it's kind of like
it's
that TNT style, voice box guitar, voice box guitar, voice box guitar?
Yeah, maybe something like that. I always thought it would have been Izzy and Slash kind of like just joking around, like just I don't know, but yeah, I love all those little interstitials that these Gunners songs seem to have. They're subtle, they're definitely subtle. But, you can't even describe it really without sort of going, that bit that goes, but it's great. In the
I'm pulling a blank. I don't remember that bit.
No, I think it's good. I think it's definitely...
Izzy was the heart and soul of that band, though. Come on, let's admit it.
Oh, it's just a shame that he left.
Was kicked out. Ooh.
Oh, well,
who knows?
Whatever, It's... Like, his solo stuff's mind-blowing.
Anyways, that's Time for Change. Now it's Time for Change. Nothing's going... Anyway, I'm not going to sing it.
And then, so...
What's the one that's left that gets the gold square or the grey square?
The gold star, grey star kind of thing. Yes. Yeah. So if you really enjoy this song very much, give it a gold star. If you don't really care about it all that much, give it a grey one. It's Rocket Queen.
You're Rocket Queen. It's a great song.
Grey star from me.
It's an amazing song. It's probably them stretching themselves the most, and to put them on the end of the album, that's just amazing. I think that's Gold the one that should be played on Gold 104 more than Sweet Child of Mine. Rocket Queen.
Okay.
And like, how many people? Like, it just doesn't come up in conversation. Like, if you're down the pub going, "Oh, you like Gunners? Yeah, I like Gunners." Like, you know.
Fine song, not one I would seek out.
Rocket Queen's amazing.
I say so. I say so too. I'd give it the grey too.
I'd give it a grey.
I love it.
Are you giving it a gold?
I love it. I think it's amazing. And you're a rocket queen, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a little young, but honey, I ain't naive. And how young would he be? I wouldn't even know what naive meant when I was 18 or 20 or whatever he was. I just think it's great.
While he's tallying the thing,
Great
I'm just gonna say, remember Guns N' Roses? This was their debut album.
It's
this
incredible.
This was the one where they had all the time in the world to write the songs. Dr. Feelgood was Motley Crue's 5th album. So I think for it even to be in the ballpark, in the same world, is an amazing effort. Get to your 5th album and write something that good.
Well, they didn't, did they? I mean, they did 2 more, which was pretty amazing, and then the Spaghetti Incident. There's Lies jammed in there.
I said to someone the other day, hi Paul, Guns N' Roses are the 80s Sex Pistols.
Oh,
they
lasted
one
9
really,
months
really good album, a lot of hype, and that was their career. It's still going. I mean, Sex Pistols still get together and do shows. 1 album.
I am so surprised that the Sex Pistols are considered like an innovator or inventor of punk rock, and they only have 1 album.
But it's
they got 2.
They got 1.
Yeah.
Everything
one
else was
studio-
remixes and
Swindle?
that was remixes and offcuts and
That surprises me so much. How did an entire genre get influenced by how many songs? 12 songs? That's incredible.
It hit. It was the time. They grabbed the world, and I think that's the same with Appetite. They had that 1 album, and their entire career 30 years later, still going. What else did they do?
Oh, well.
What else did Gunners do?
Well, the guys in Guns N' Roses done plenty of stuff. Axl Rose has gone troppo, hasn't he? He ruined it for
So they
everyone,
did Use Your Illusion 1 and 2,
Which are amazing.
Which is 1 good album spread across 2.
They went on tour with Metallica. Then that tour went interestingly.
Yeah, that ended.
The Spaghetti Incident. Then
Covers?
Yeah, Spaghetti Incident. No one needs to talk about that.
That's
ever again.
covers.
The last Guns N' Roses album that ever came out was Chinese Democracy.
Which I like.
And then you got Velvet Revolver, which is awesome.
But that's not Guns N' Roses.
It may as well be, though.
It's not.
It's
Chinese Democracy is a great album. It's not a Gunners album. It's an Axl solo album. And if you take it at that, you'll enjoy it.
So, will you consider that...
So I'm saying Gunners has had 2 records.
Oh, come on. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2.
It's 1 good record.
No, it's
put together.
It's 2.
Be a great album if you took out 10 songs.
And Lies, it's great. Those are the acoustic numbers in
isn't
there.
that not covers and remakes again?
Yeah, there's a bit of that going on.
Yeah.
It's not a flat out album.
So 1 and done. I'm saying Guns N' Roses, 1 and done.
Well, I will take
Dr.
that one.
Feelgood,
I'll
number
take that one.
5.
Well, that's why I say if you want to hear the best of Motley Crue, they've spread it out. And,
Any
I
of
think,
them. Any of them.
That's why you got to go to the compilation.
Too Fast for Love, great album.
Yeah, but not as good as Appetite for Destruction.
Shout of the Devil, great album.
Is this what goes on in the studio?
Theatre of
you
Pain.
guys?
Don't worry about Theatre of Pain. That was awful. That was an awful record. Forget about that one.
Yeah, well.
Girls, Girls, Girls. What a record.
All right, gentlemen, I think it's time to
What was the
finally
final thing?
get the grand total up. Okay, we'll start off with the most obvious one, which is John. It's 11-1 Guns N' Roses, so that's
Come on, Gunners.
that's already one right there.
Greatest band ever.
For Mark, it is 6-5 in favour of Feelgood. So 1-1.
Well, there you go. Good, considerate, balanced view.
However,
good warm water view.
However, unfortunately, Mark, for myself, it is 8-3 in favour of Guns N' Roses.
Well, you know.
So, therefore, your winner is Appetite for Destruction.
Awesome.
There are no losers.
I knew that before I even walked in here.
They're both great records.
They are both great records. And if you haven't heard them in a while, or ever, chuck them on.
What would you consider your top 3 of both albums? Top 3 songs on both of these albums.
Ooh. Jeez.
Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart.
Okay.
And of course, I'm pulling a mental blank. Who's got the track?
Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, and...
Here's the track list that just magically appeared. No, I remembered.
Don't worry. It's all audio. They're never going to see this.
Same old situation, probably, for me. I'd say that'd be the 3.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that, actually. Same old situation. I like listen to it every time I hear it. Thanks.
My personal opinion would probably be Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, and probably Don't Go Away Mad.
Oh, yeah, good song.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to that one.
And Guns N' Roses, everyone? What would be your
Guns
top
N'
3
Roses.
on
What are my top
Appetite?
3 on this?
I'm going to say Mr. Brownstone, for me,
Okay.
is my favourite song on that album. I just think it's amazing.
Paradise City, great song.
Yeah,
Can't
Paradise
go
City,
past
definitely.
that.
And then, it's probably interchangeable. Like, if you ask me in a week's time, I'll probably say something different. Like, I've got a bit of a buzz for Rocket Queen.
That's the power of all of great albums, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I don't know. Take your pick.
I would say Think About You and Night Train would be the two that I would be probably going to go home and listen to tonight.
Excellent.
I'm gonna chuck in Rocket Queen. Because I reckon there's a lot of people who've forgotten about that one. They haven't got down to the end of the album.
Last song, side 2.
That's it. Get onto it, or just chuck it on YouTube and you can watch it straight away.
No, go and buy the record.
Support your artist directly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well,
Axel needs your cash.
He certainly does not.
Either way, Bastard North.
Bastard North.
I can say very much. Thank you very much for choosing these two albums for us to do this show on, because I had a whale of a time listening to Appetite. I had a whale of a time immersing myself in Motley Crue, and it was a great experience. So thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for having us. It was terrific.
I feel anxious. I feel so anxious because I feel like I could have talked about these two albums for days, and we've really compacted it in. So that's just.
We've done all right.
Not too bad. Well, we haven't got too much long to go. Do you want to one last time plug all your socials, plug all your music, do whatever you like? Just no need to mention the price of admission.
We're Bastard North. We're next playing at Smashfest on August the 17th, I believe. Looks at John nodding.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think there's 26 bands across 2 stages, so I would urge you all to come on down for that, for some good rock and roll and punk and a bit of this and a bit of that.
Awesome day, and especially upstairs at Bombay Rock, which is
upstairs stage, downstairs stage.
Awesome. And then after that, we're back at Bombay.
October 19, for the EP launch.
Yep. And then we've got a few more gigs coming up, but you can find us on Facebook. You can find us
socials.
On all them places, and we keep it all up to date. Mark does
We're on the Instas. We're down with the kids.
Yeah, where you got to be. So.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to get to know more about Bastard North's music before their EP launch, be sure to check out their EP On Your Bike.
On Spotify, yeah.
Definitely.
Bandcamp, I believe.
Bandcamp and Spotify. We're down.
SoundCloud, you're down with everything.
We're down.
You come down the show, buy a stubby holder. We've actually got usable merch. So,
and a sticker.
Yeah, you can put that in your back pocket. You won't forget it behind the bar, like you do with your record that you buy.
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. It was great.
Thank you very much for joining us. So there you have it. Appetite for Destruction defeats Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood candidly, 2 grand points to 1 with an 11-1, 8-3 tally. That is quite the difference and quite the candid win for Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. But by all means, it is not a disservice to Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood, because if you listen to both albums, you're guaranteed a whale of a time. Big thanks once again to Bastard North for suggesting today's battle. A big thank you for that. And coming into the studio to discuss it on the show. Once again, you can follow them on Facebook at Bastard North and on Instagram. And you can check out their EP On Your Bike on SoundCloud, Bandcamp and Spotify to get a gist of just what they sound like and get hyped about their new EP, soon to be named, not named just yet. It is still thinking of a name at this point, but it will be released on October 19th. I also want to send a big thank you to the band's producer, Gregor Friday, for helping make this episode happen. He was very much the keystone to contacting both the band and myself and working out how to make this episode possible. So a very big thank you to Gregor Friday, and thank you very much for the guitar pick you gave me back in at the start of the year. It is very much appreciated. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of the Great Metal Standoff. You can stay up to date with what we do at facebook.com/Metal Standoff Pod, and you can listen to all of our previous episodes over at omni.fm. And if you are a local musician that has an interesting idea for a battle, by all means, seriously, by all means, if you're an artist or a musician or in a band, I'd love to hear from you. If you've got a battle for this show, please give us a contact over at facebook.com/Metal Standoff Pod. And that's all there is really much to say about that. Appetite for Destruction, we salute you. You take away the big victory. Bastard North, you are phenomenal human beings, and all the very best of luck to you, and good best wishes and success coming your way from me over at the Great Metal Standoff. That's all from me. I'll say over and out, and metal up your ass!